Hello and welcome to another Staunton Grange review. My name is Dan and this is a British Railways locomotive 60163 Tornado. Now this engine's got quite a history, so I'll try and talk briefly about it. Designed by Arthur Peppercorn, who was the last Chief Mechanical Engineer of the London and North Eastern Railway, the Peppercorn A1 Pacifics were built to do the expresses from London to Leeds and back, retiring the B17 football engines. Which, if you look back in the videos or wait a bit, there'll be a review of one of those coming out as well. So these were constructed from 1948 to 1950. Well, this particular one wasn't. And they were quite successful, very famous, because people kept getting them mixed up with the Gresley A1s, but I would just say look at the number and think you're thick. Excuse me. And they were pink, obviously apple green, then BR Express Passenger Blue after that, and then BR Green. So that would have been interesting, and sadly they all fell to the cutting torch in the 1960s. However, in 1990, a group calling themselves the A1 Steam Locomotive Trust decided that they were going to build and run a full-size one of these babies. And it worked. Although there were complications, and they were way over time, but not out of budget, because this was built entirely through donations from the British public, 60163 steamed for the first time under her own power on the Grand Central Railway, or Great Central Railway, I can never remember what it's called, in 2008. And in 2009 she was named officially at York Station by their Royal Highnesses the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall, or Charles and Horseface as they're more commonly known. And she was named Tornado after the fighter jet, and became the first steam engine to be built in Britain for over 50 years. And Hornby brought out this railroad model in 2010. So if we just hop out the packaging. It's standard sort of Hornby packaging, it's not split box or anything posh like that. But, so if we just take it out of the box, as I said, is made out of polystyrene, and at the top, written in my handwriting, is the engine's number, so I know which box it belongs to, so ignore that bit. We'll edit that out. If we look at the loco first, the livery is applicated quite badly, if I'm honest, but this is a railroad model. If we look at the smokebox door, that's... Oh, it opens! Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves for a bit. Okay, that's stuck. Actually, that had fallen off quite a long bit before that bit was arranged. This leading bogie, however... Where's my red pen? If we look at the leading bogie, that is quite loose fitting, and that it could, I could put a different one on, but with the way it's put on, and similar to a mainline standard class 4, mainline company, by the way, it couldn't come off quite easily. It's got NEM couplings, which I'm quite surprised for a railroad model. That's a normal socket. And the driving wheels are pristine. They are just, oh yeah. If we look at the nameplates, they're just put on, like, printed. It doesn't come with any etched ones or anything. And the number is the same. If we look at the sort of double Carlac chimney to extract steam quite quickly, that is perfectly fine. Although if we put the pen in, it doesn't actually block anything, that just goes down into the motor. It's a Ringfield Hornby motor, so not very good on that. However, with these side windows, if I look like that through them, I can actually see the cameraman. There's actually just proper windows, and there's no cab detail either. Yeah. But if we look at the tender, hopefully we can get some points back. just look at the connection for the tender mechanism. Look it down. Little thing there, thing here. Now, I don't understand why, because this comes with two things, but if I put it onto that one, looks absolutely great. Looks quite realistic, but it won't go round corners. So you've got to put it onto the second one, which doesn't. Now, I'm not petty, but I think the fireman would have to have quite a long shovel to actually sort of get to the cab. Or, we could have extended this and made it a 464, and then it would be a Peppercorn W1. Well, no, what happened to the Grizzly one. Which is one of my favourite steam locos, but anyway. If we look at this is an 8-wheeled, based on the Grizzly 8-wheeled tender. Could hold about 5,000 gallons of water and about 9 tons of coal. If we look at that, it turns by sort of pivoting the axles on different methods. That is quite ingenious. However, it's got this quite daft connection for the coupling where that is really easy to come off. I'll try and pop that back on. And no spring-loaded buffers on the loco, or indeed on the tender. However, British Railways, you can feel some sort of etching on that. That is quite interesting, and the coal, obviously, it's plastic and it doesn't come out. But this is still a very good model. Okay, it lacks in detail, it lacks in realism, and it lacks in the fact that it doesn't actually resemble Tornado's livery, because she's now in BR Express Passenger Blue, because they keep repainting her. By the time she goes to Germany in 2 years' time to test out a top speed, she'll be painted in BR Pink. Just to clarify, there's no such livery as BR Pink. I was just making that up. They'll probably stay in BR Blue. Or they might paint it in wartime black, you don't know. Yes, it's not a very good model. Realism-wise, it runs superbly. I mean, literally. You think Green Arrow was smooth. I compare everything to Green Arrow. If Green Arrow, you think that was superb, this just blows your mind away. The only massive fault I can see on the running is the pony truck. If I just put that on the ground, if the cameraman's camera work is good enough to actually pick that up, that's not on the floor. That just hangs there like something hanging. You're not catching in me trying to put the thing back on, are you? Right. So we'll see what this runs like in a later video. However, I'm Dan. Take good care of yourselves. Feel free to like this video. If you think someone else might like it, share it. And if you want to see more crap presenting and rubbish camera work from two spotty teenagers, then feel free to subscribe.